Hi, it's Dr. Peterson, and I wanted to show you how you can use the solver tools in Microsoft Excel or LibreOffice Calc in order to automate your least squares fits. So first I'll show you in LibreOffice Calc. LibreOffice, by the way, is a great open source Office suite that you can download. In this spreadsheet, I have some fake data for a spring where I'm measuring the force when I extend the spring by different amounts. And then I have a model equation here in this column. And then these are the parameters that are built into that equation. And then in this column is my squared error, where I calculate the difference between my model and my measured force, and then sum up those squared differences here. And so the objective is to minimize my sum squared error in this cell by adjusting the parameters here. So you know that you can do this by trial and error and just try to get that sum squared error as small as possible. And as you do that, your fit starts to match your data better. But this can take time, and it can be hard to do if you have a lot of parameters. So there exists in many spreadsheet programs a tool called the solver or something like that, which will basically automate this process for you. So to use it in LibreOffice Calc, you go to the Tools menu. Now you may encounter an error here that says something about your Java runtime engine, and that probably just means you need to install one. So you can quickly go to a web browser and search for download Java and then just install that. So once you've done that, if you go back into LibreOffice Calc, then go to the Tools menu and choose Options, and then select this Advanced item. Then you can choose which Java runtime environment you want to use, and just choose the one that's just been installed. And now when you go to the Tools menu and choose Solver, you will get no error, and we can choose the cell that we want to minimize, which will be this sum squared error cell. And then say that we want to minimize the value, and then select these cells as the parameters we are going to be allowed to adjust. And then we choose Solve. And after some amount of time, it reaches a decent solution, and you can say whether to keep going or keep that solution. And we can see that now the fit matches the data pretty well. In Microsoft Excel, the solver is an add-in. So we go to the File menu and choose Options. And then we can see this item along the side here, which is Add-ins. And then in the dialog box, there is this Manage Add-ins option, and we'll just say Go right there. And now we will check the solver add-in and say OK to install it. Now when we go to the Data tab, we can see that there's a solver option here. And it looks pretty similar to LibreOffice. We just select the cell that we want to minimize, and then select Minimize, and then select the cells we are going to be adjusting in order to do that. And click Solve. And you can see once again we have a solution. So hopefully that will help you to automatically minimize your least squares fits.